Today I'm going to show you kitchen hacks, things that I've learned in my professional career that will make you a stronger, better, cleaner cook. I've spent so much time in my life peeling garlic, it's kind of sad. And with this tip, it's going to make it go just a little bit quicker. So what I do is peel my cloves. This step you can't avoid, but how do you get the garlic out of these little things? You can use a paring knife, smash them on your cutting board. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. All messy, all annoying. So take a bunch of cloves of garlic, put them in a bowl. And then what we're gonna do is put them in the microwave for 10 seconds. What this is gonna do is steam our garlic cloves, just so that the skin separates off of the garlic. Watch, the garlic falls right out. Look at that. So give it a little squeeze, and it falls right out. It's as easy as that. Put your cloves of garlic in the microwave and they pop right out. I'm gonna show you a hack on how to peel a mango in seconds. Take your mango, put it up on its skinny side, and cut off the cheeks, which are just those beautiful 2 big slices. And then we get our pint glass, push down, mango against the edge of the glass, and voila, it is peeled. The fruit's in the glass, the juice is in the glass, clean, easy, and quick. Kiwis are another thing that's annoying to peel. So cut off both ends, and then I just get a tablespoon and get under the skin, twist, 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 go from the other side, twist, 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 and our kiwi should pop right out. Quick and easy, and all you need is a spoon and a knife. Anytime you're measuring sticky ingredients like honey, molasses, or corn syrup, you always leave a lot behind. So in this measuring cup, it's just honey, and in this measuring cup, I'm gonna give it a quick spray with nonstick spray. The nonstick spray will let the honey release and we'll get more out of it. This is our traditional way. Look how much is left in there. Let's try the nonstick spray. You can see how easily it comes out. So you can see that the measuring cup that I sprayed with nonstick spray has a lot less honey left over in it. You just do a lot less work. You don't have to get a spoon or a spatula and scoop it out. It just slides on out. Less work, more time to enjoy your food. One thing that I've taught throughout my whole career is always stabilize your cutting board. You don't want your cutting board moving around. It makes it super dangerous. So what you need to do is put something underneath the cutting board. And what I like to use is paper towel. So all you gotta do with the paper towel, get it damp, squeeze it out, unfold it, put it on the table, and then put my cutting board on it. Now my cutting board is super sturdy, it won't move around, and I'm gonna be safe. And when you're done with the paper towel, you can wipe your station down. Another thing that we do as well is to have a garbage bowl or a garbage container on my station when I'm cooking. You don't have to be going back and forth to the garbage every time you have a peel. You can peel everything into the bowl. Your station is neat and clean. You're not making all the trips back and forth to the garbage. I do it in my home kitchen every single day. Some sort of garbage bowl and securing your cutting board. Sometimes in the kitchen, you don't need to buy that new gadget. You can just use the old gadget in a new way. One of my favorite things to do with a microplane is give it a turn, flip it over, or reverse your microplane. When I'm zesting lemons or limes, I like to flip it over so that I can see what I'm working on and give it a pull. Every time I pull, I give it a little turn. Not only am I getting just the zest and not the white, I'm also collecting all of my zest in the top of the microplane. And I can take my zest and just put it straight into my bowl. You don't have a citrus juicer? One of the best tools for this is a pair of tongs. Cut my lemon in half, open up my tongs, get the lemon in there, and now you have some mechanical advantage, some leverage. Give it a squeeze. Get your other half. No juicer? Use a pair of tongs. Another use for those tongs is cracking a cold one. In professional kitchens, we pride ourselves on being able to open a bottle with almost any tool you can find, so let's use the tongs. Common in every kitchen. Spoon. You're basically resting the spoon on your hand. This one you gotta be careful with so you don't poke your eye out. Use the back of the knife. Pen. Ah, slate works too. Cheers, everyone. One thing professional chefs do that home cooks almost never do is they harness the power of steam. I have a burger on here. My burger is cooking away happily, but I want my burger to be medium rare. By using a little steam, we can melt our cheese quickly and efficiently and keep our burger perfectly medium rare. We take the cheese, we put it on top of our burger, and what we do is we take a bowl and put it upside down. That bowl is gonna trap the steam and cook from the top. If you don't think that it's getting enough steam, get a little squeeze bottle of water, give it a little spritz, put it on top, it'll add a little extra steam. You can use this for a grilled cheese, a tuna melt, eggs. Say you don't want to do over easy, you want to keep them sunny side up, but you want the egg yolk cooked, little steam. Our cheese melted in a matter of seconds, look at it. Look at that steamy, melty cheese, absolutely delicious. Use the power of steam. You don't need a rice cooker to make rice. You don't even need a stove. All you really need is a microwave. When I worked at culinary school, one of our head butchers was from the Philippines and she made rice every day for us. And she used to do it in the microwave and she swore by this method and she has converted me. I have my rice in a bowl. I rinsed it 3 or 4 times just to get the excess starch off. Add 2 cups of water. Put a pinch of salt in. And we want to wrap it tightly with the plastic wrap. Poke 1 or 2 vent holes and pop it in the microwave on high for 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes, you're gonna put it on for 15 at medium heat. I'm gonna let it rest in the bowl for about 5 minutes and then it's gonna be ready to go. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a fluff up. Look at that, perfectly cooked in the microwave. Beautiful every time. Cooking rice for a crowd, the oven is your best friend. This is a rice peel-off. It starts off on the stove. We're gonna take the rice and we're going to toast it in some butter or some fat. It coats the rice, makes it nice and fluffy. We're gonna add a nice hefty pinch of salt, bay leaf. All the rice is coated with the fat, and now I can add my chicken stock. I'm gonna let this come to a boil, put the lid on, pop it into a 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes. Rice is ready, let's get it out of the oven. Look at that. And just fluff it up. This is just a great way to do bulk rice for a larger crowd. Frees up some of that important stove space. Perfectly cooked rice for a crowd. Sometimes you have some leftover rice and you want to heat it up, but it's a little dry. So what I like to do is put my rice into a bowl and heat it with an ice cube. Why an ice cube? The ice cube is going to steam it without making it mushy. If I put water in here, I'm never really sure how much I need. An ice cube is going to lend some steam, but it's not going to melt all the way. I'm going to start it at a minute, see how we do. Let's see. So our rice is nice and warm. You can see the ice cubes only melted a little bit, just giving us the little bit of moisture we need to heat our rice up. Give it a mix, make sure everything's hot. Beautifully reheated white rice. Believe it or not, one thing I love to use in the kitchen is a Ziploc bag. They're great for storage. They're very low profile. I take my Ziploc, I open it up, I roll the edge over. I want to keep the zipper area clean. Make sure whatever you put in here is cold. We don't want to put hot soup in a Ziploc bag. It might melt right through it. Squeeze most of the air out. And then what I do is I take it and flatten it out. This is the key. You want things to stack neatly. Flat packing your food works every time. Once it's frozen, super neat, super easy to see what it is. Look how easily and nice they stack. Easy to defrost too. Because it's flat, it has a lot of surface area. And if you put this in the pan or the microwave, it defrosts like a dream. If you have extra pesto, stock, or some sort of sauce, you can freeze it. I have some extra pesto here. I just fill up the cubes. I tap it, flatten it out. I'm gonna stick this in the freezer. So my pesto is frozen, and say you have a ton of basil from the garden this summer, make pesto, freeze it into cubes, and then you could store these single portions out every time. You can do this with so many different things. I have some lemon juice that I froze. You can do this with tomato sauce, tomato puree. There's so many different things you can do this with. And if there's only a couple of people in your house, you don't have to feed a lot of people. Take a couple of cubes, make pesto for 2, and you're good to go. One thing that we do in restaurants is we label and date everything. It's super important to keep track of when things were put in containers, how long they've been there, and if it's actually good or not. I get some painter's tape, we lay it out flat, and instead of trying to put the tape on the container then write it in this space, laying it out on a flat surface makes it easier to write on. I have some rice there, and today's date. I have some pasta, some almonds, tomato sauce. Everything's written out, and all I have to do is cut, get my nice neat labels. I always put in a lid. I find it easier to take off. You can get all different colors and make an organization system and say, pink is for meat, purple is for vegetables, right? All you really need to do is have a roll of painter's tape, a marker, and a paring knife, and you can be as organized as the pros. When it comes to salad, this is how the pros do it. We start off with a big bowl. A lot of times I see people put a salad in a small bowl like this. There's no room to mix the salad in. Stainless steel bowls like this are super cheap. I have stacks of them at home, and they're kind of multi-purpose. If you have a party, you want to chill down your beer or your soda, put some ice in here. The next thing that I do is season my salad. Get a nice hefty pinch of kosher salt. Table salt's very fine grained. You can't see how much you put on. With kosher salt, you can see that I have salt on there. It doesn't melt immediately. So I'm gonna dress my salad. A lot of times you'll see people at this point will grab a pair of tongs. Part of the reason I don't like tongs is because people tend to mash the salad up here. And I don't want mashed salad. I want nice, light, airy, fluffy greens. So what I do is I use salad fingers. Salad fingers are the new jazz hands. Open your hands up. Get in there and toss your salad nice and lightly. Go around the bowl. We're not squeezing and damaging the greens. We're lightly tossing them in the dressing so that our salad is getting nicely mixed and coated with that dressing. If you want to use gloves, use gloves. I don't think they're necessary as long as your hands are clean. Before I put this on the plate, I'm gonna taste it. Make sure it's seasoned enough. Make sure it has enough dressing. Now we get a plate, and when I put the salad on the plate, I'm going light. Don't squeeze it, don't mash it. Let's get some height, let's get some volume out of this. At no time did I really damage my greens. My greens are still all intact, not soggy. The salad is light, beautiful, and delicious. Anytime I cook with nuts, I like to make sure that they're toasted. Toasted nuts have better flavor, better texture, and they're just all around delicious. And to ensure that they are toasted evenly, toast them in the oven on a tray. Part of the reason I don't like using the pan is that the heat from the pan is coming from the bottom. So the bottom of your nut is getting toasted while the top is not getting toasted at all. So lay the nuts out in an even layer, put them in a 350-degree oven until they are nice and toasty and brown. Set a timer, maybe start at 5 minutes, check them, make sure they're nice and brown. Take them out of the oven, let them cool. They're toasty and roasty and delicious. You can see the inside is nice and brown. So if you're toasting nuts, go with the oven. In every kitchen I've ever worked in, we've used squeeze bottles. Squeeze bottles are a great way to deliver sauces, garnishes, dressings. In my squeeze bottles here, I have some salad dressing, some chocolate sauce, and some spicy mayonnaise. When I want to put it onto a dish, I can give it a quick shake. You can get fancy and put lines on things. It's a great way to get sauce in the area that you want it without big globs of it on your food. Squeeze bottles are also great for garnishing your desserts. I have some brownies, a little chocolate sauce. I'll make like a little dot, and that dot can hold my brownie in place. Put another one there, and then we could kind of just do like nice little polka dots around. We'll put a little scoop of ice cream on top. And it's just a way to make your desserts just a little more special for the people that you love. Go online, get some squeeze bottles. It makes your cooking a lot easier and a lot more fun. If you have yourself a really beautiful pineapple or a really juicy peach, just cut it up and eat it like that. But if you have like maybe a peach or a nectarine or a piece of pineapple that's not super ripe and it's not really quite ready to go, but you want to use it up, throw it on the grill. It's gonna concentrate some of that flavor, make it just a little sweeter. I'm gonna start with my cut side down, flesh side down. I make sure my grill is clean, there's no debris on it. You wanna just leave it alone. Because fruit has a lot of liquid in it, it's gonna take just a little bit longer to get that char and get those marks on there. So be patient, just give it a few minutes. Now that I have the grill marks on that one side, I can give it a quick flip. Just remember, we don't wanna overcook our fruit and make it mushy. We just wanna give it some color and some caramelization. I'll put it on the other side for like a minute or two. There's so many different ways you can go with this. Sweet, savory, serve the peaches with some burrata, put it in a salad. It goes with a pork chop. You can put it on a dessert as well. It's super versatile. Just like the pineapple and the peaches, you can grill some lemons. What this does, it gives our lemons a nice savory flavor, a little richer flavor, makes it a little more caramelized. They are great garnish for your fish, for chicken, pretty much anything you put on the grill. Another tip is oil your protein before you grill it. Steak, pork chops, chicken thighs, I will oil them first. Just enough oil to give it a nice sheen and jumpstart that browning on the skin. I have a piece of salmon here, and I'm gonna cook this on the skin side. So there you go, I have my marks there. I'm gonna give it a little crosshatch. You can see my lemons are getting nice and grilled. Just check out how good these lemons look on the plate. You can easily just put a slice of lemon on there and it'll probably look really good, but you grill it, it makes them just a little extra special. So look at my salmon, crisped up really nice. I got some really nice grill marks. It didn't stick. Squeeze that grilled lemon over the top. Beautiful meal. Your friends and family will give you hugs and kisses. We've talked about a lot of tips and hacks today, and if you take a couple of these or take all of them and put them into your kitchen arsenal, I promise you, you will be a better cook for it. If you have any kitchen tips or tricks, please put them in the comments. I always like to read what you guys have to say. You can also use another bottle. That's so awesome. Can we use that? I have another jacket, thankfully. Okay, I gotta change my shirt.